episode of the first season of MOBLAND. The level of deceit and treachery reached an all-time high. Conrad finally met cartel head Jamie Lopez, fulfilling the second favor Harry had requested from the enigmatic and powerful Cat Malister. In typical Conrad manner, the patriarch of the Harrigan family antagonized Lopez. Right now, a deal could still go through, but only if Harry can get rid of the rat in the Harrigan household. Since Kevin was finally free to face his former captor and torturer, Rusby, he was noticeably absent from the talks. Even his wife was able to smuggle herself out of the Harrigan manor to pursue her own shadowy agenda. Lastly, at Conrad's invitation, Jan's friend Alice, now an informant for Colin Tattersall following the killings of Fisk and Mikasa in Episode 8, arrived at the manor for dinner. A tactical squadron, with their assistants, disrupted the meal, which led to Conrad and Maeve being handcuffed. The feast disintegrated in chaos. Why were they arrested? Tattersall sent Alice to Conrad's manor with an eavesdropping device implanted in her phone instead of a wire, putting her life in jeopardy because it could be so easily discovered. During her brief tenure, she failed to secure a complete admission of guilt or confirmation of any illegal action. However, that was never her intention. She was present to obtain DNA evidence that may lead to Conrad's or Maeve's conviction, or both, if feasible. The authorities did not have any proof of murder when they detained them on suspicion. Alice's plan? Nevertheless, Alice and Tattersall's end goal was to gather proof necessary to permanently imprison Conrad and Maeve. Alice, clearly Nicola's true name, according to Tattersall, has twice accepted money to help plant DNA evidence in an effort to frame individuals who might or might not have committed crimes. Tattersall and Alice/Nicola's strategy for the Harrigans hinges on getting them caught, and then fabricating evidence to lock them up, which implies that they're both fine with manipulating the system to ensure convictions. The plot twist? Tattersall is collaborating closely with Richie Stevenson, the mastermind behind the scheme. No, Richie has no intention of letting Conrad and Maeve rot in prison. He wants Colin to put them in any sort of jail, so he can kill them. Richie was eager to team up with a crooked investigator like Tattersall in order to get back at Conrad and Maeve, who he blamed for the deaths of his kid and wife. Ending song, Sing? As they're being dragged from their house, Maeve joyfully starts singing, and Conrad quickly joins in. 20 Men from Dublin is an early 20th century Irish traditional ballad composed by Arthur Griffith. They sing it in harmony as they are carried into police vehicles. It was a well-known combat song in Ireland, where Maeve and Conrad would have grown up. It references the Irish guerrilla insurrectionists who fought the British Crown in the Irish Rebellion of 1798. They see it as a statement of resistance against the authorities. Safiana? After her ordeal with Jamie Lopez, Sifina regained her self-assurance and now serves as her father's de facto right-hand woman. During family dinners, Conrad had doubts about Alice's motives when he invited her to dinner. Later in the episode, while they're in the sauna together, Maeve questions him directly. Does he think Alice is an informant? But Sifina, not Conrad, is the one who interrogates Alice to find out what she really wants. She has shown her father her undying devotion by doing this, and he loves her more than any of his other children. It now appears that the show's creators deliberately hid Maeve's true goal from viewers during most of the first season of MOBLAND. Apart from wreaking havoc, which falls squarely on Conrad's shoulders, Maeve might not have any real strategy. She basically acknowledges this as they brandish sharp weapons at each other moments before being arrested. She's doing everything in her power to undermine his position and destabilize him. The only reason she went to the police about Archie was to put more pressure on Conrad. Maeve, there's no way that one more episode can address all the loose ends left at the end of Episode 9. It appears that MOBLAND will receive at least 2 more seasons, if not more. The scheduling issues with the high-profile actors are a natural concern, but the show's unexpected success on streaming services makes a second season look likely. The season finale should resolve a number of important narrative points, the most important of which is probably what occurs between Maeve and Conrad. Additionally, Harry is scheduled to meet with Kat, likely to go over the first favor he owes her. Even though Harry has warned her repeatedly not to get involved, Bella's plot involving Antoine, the Home Secretary, a Syrian arms dealer, and her father is certain to come to light. As a result of her husband's work, Jan and her daughter were subjected to an armed police raid, and we may witness Jan reaching her breaking point thereafter. It is reasonable to assume that there will be a significant number of casualties in the MOBLAND season finale. Rat? Episode 8 revealed that Harry had murdered Freddy after discovering the identity of the rat in the Harrigan criminal organization, Richie Stevenson. Although it was not explicitly stated in Episode 9, it was evident from the circumstances. In a flash, Harry contacts Ahara Delaney, the Harrigan's attorney, upon learning that the agreement with Jamie Lopez hinges on the removal of the rat from the Harrigan house. Reacting to Sifana's inquiry, he says he's dealing with something fast. After he verifies that the agreement with Jamie is final, Ahara expresses her belief that Archie was correct to leave fentanyl to Richie. It appears that Harry was merely corroborating Freddy's account, and this practically proves that she was the one collaborating with Richie. The odds are high that Ahara will not back out of their morning meeting if he asks her to discuss matters.